That's not very polite.
Honey, when a man's been saucering for 40 years, don't try to make him change his ways. Isn't that right, Ben?
Oh, Maggie, every man has his habits.
Not only men, women do, too.
Maggie, you starting some kind of habit?
Oh, she ain't starting one. She's got it. The, spinster habit.
Maggie, you seem to have forgotten the cream. Would you be a good girl? Get in the kitchen.
Oh, yes, Mr. Cartwright.
What's the matter with you, Tuck?
Hmm?
If brains were dynamite, you couldn't blow your nose.
Now, what are you talking about?
What am I talking about? The way you're talking to Maggie, the things you say to her, the way you make her feel.
Well, what would you have me say? That she's a beauty? That 100 fellows are after courting her? Ben, Maggie's a plain woman. You know that. So does little Joe here. Isn't that right, Joe?
Well, I would say that.
But how come in all the years you've known her, you never once asked her to a social?
Well, it just happened to work out that way, that's all.
I suppose you think that's a nice thing to say, but that kind of thinking ain't gonna help Maggie. Now, let's face it, she ain't got a man now, and she's not likely to have one. I swear, if I could find someone that'd have Maggie, I'd give him my spread right now.
Come on, I want to go take a look at those horses, huh?
Yeah, I expect it's a good idea.
Thank you.
Maggie, go get your shawl.
Yes, Pa.
Tuck, Jared has some pretty good horses. We got 5 mares a couple of days ago. As a matter of fact, I think he's got just about the best string of horses this part of the country.
See you later, Pa.
Bye, Mr. Cartwright.
Oh, Ben, you're real lucky to have had all boys. Well, thanks for the coffee.
Joe? You know Mr. Dowling here, of course.
Oh, sure. Jared and I know each other. Used to be over at our place all the time, mooning over Maggie. Remember that, honey? Yeah, you two were really sweet on each other, weren't you?
Well, that was a long time ago. Hello, Maggie.
Hello, Jared.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. Are them the horses you got to sell?
Yeah. Yeah, those are the ones.
Little Joe, what do you think?
Well, let me get a closer look at him.
Well, this place is getting a little run down, isn't it, Jared?
Yeah, well, I'm here by myself, you know. I'm not much of one for appearances.
Oh, I know how it is. You know, it sure is tough when your missus passes on. I know. Oh, I know. Felt that way when my Betsy went. It really isn't right for a man to be alone. You know, man starts thinking of all sorts of things, like home cooking. You ever miss home cooking, Jared?
Yeah, I guess I'm not very good at pots and pans, that's for sure.
Well, I know just what you mean. You know what you ought to do? You ought to stop over our place some night. Why, my Maggie, she can do wonders in the kitchen. And she's very good at sewing, too.
Yeah.
Oh, my, yes, she can sew. Now, take a look at this blouse and skirt that she's wearing now. Well, never in my life have I seen a blouse and skirt that looked more store-bought than this. But it isn't. No, sir. Maggie did all of this all by herself, didn't you, honey? And it just cheap cotton, none of this alpaca fancy stuff for Maggie.
Yeah, well, I can see it, Mr. Dowling.
Come on, just touch that. It's only cotton. Now, a woman who can sew that good, not to mention cooking, well, she can save a man an awful lot of...
Hey, Mr. Dowling. Come on out here and take a look.
Oh, yeah. I guess I better get over there.
Got some good-looking animals.
You sure picked the winner, Maggie. Just about the best horse on the place.
Sure is beautiful.
Oh, no, not that. Strong, maybe, or handsome, but beautiful. That's a word for women. Still, there ain't many females that can spot a good horse like this one, so if you want to call him beautiful, you just go right ahead.
You're beautiful. What's his name?
Stupid? Huh? Well, that wasn't his name to start with, but he was so darned ornery at first that I just kept calling him Stupid, and the name stuck, and he answers to it ever since.
Jared.
They're fine-looking animals. Why don't you come over tonight and we can talk about it? And maybe Maggie can fix you one of her specials like I was telling you about. I tell you, it's just what the doctor ordered. Do you a world of good.
Well, why can't we settle up right now?
Joe, would you take me for a ride, please?
Sure enough. Mr. Dowling, Maggie and I are going to take a little ride while you and Jared settle up. Mind if we borrow your horse?
No, go ahead, Joe.
Well, Maggie, why don't you stay around here for a little while? Then maybe you and Jared can...
No, well, I want to go for a ride. I'll meet you back at the house.
If you like that horse, I'll buy it for you.
Oh, that horse isn't for sale, Mr. Dowling. Would you like to go in and settle up now?
Yeah, I guess so.
It's pretty, isn't it?
It sure is. Be prettier in your hair.
I'm afraid I couldn't stand the competition.
Come on, now you're talking silly.
You know, back there at Jared's, he said that beautiful is a woman's word, but he's wrong. It doesn't apply to all women. I'm plain, Joe. I'm the kind of girl that pretty girls like as their best friend. No, don't say anything. I'm not fishing for any compliments. It's just the way Papa carries on so sometimes. Sometimes I just needed a friend to talk to. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
Even my name. It's Maggie. It's not Margaret, you know. It's Maggie. It says right there on my birth certificate, Maggie. That's very dashing, sir.
Well, I still think it'd be prettier in your hair.
No, I think I'm gonna walk home, Joe. It's not very far. Would you take my horse back?
Whatever you want.
Thank you for everything.
Maggie.
She was close to home. She decided to walk.
Oh, thanks for bringing the horse, little Joe, but you could have dropped him off at Dowling's place. He's one of the bunch I sold to him.
Oh, I thought you weren't going to sell this one.
Well, he made me such a good offer. Well, you know, keep the wolves away for a little while.
Makes it that rough, huh?
Yeah. Just doesn't mean much anymore. Keeping the place up, they're gone.
Gosh, you know, Jared, you're not doing yourself any good just staying out here alone all the time. We can never see you in town anymore. You know, Maggie and I were talking about it.
Now, look, little Joe. Don't you start in on me. Tuck's been doing the same thing. Maggie this and Maggie that.
Jared, I wasn't going to start in on you about anything.
I know what you're going to say. She's a real nice girl. Even if she were interested in me, I'm in no position to get married.
Look, I wasn't going to say anything about getting married.
Look, there's one grave out in that back pasture. And there's never going to be another one.
Hello, Jared. Won't you come in?
I just put Stupid in the stable.
I want to thank you, Jared, so very much for letting Paul buy that horse for me.
There's one thing I wanted to ask you.
Yes?
You don't have any mice in that stable, do you?
Beg pardon?
Well, he's scared of mice.
Oh. No. No, we don't have any mice.
Well, I guess I better be going.
Would you like a cup of coffee? There's some hot. And Paul's upstairs taking a nap.
What's that got to do with me having a cup of coffee?
Nothing. I just mentioned it, that's all. Go ahead. Sit down.
Well, maybe half a cup.
Okay. What are you taking it, Jared?
Oh, just black.
Hope it's not too strong. Been on the stove for a little while.
Oh, it's just fine.
How do you know? You haven't tasted it yet.
Yeah, that's just fine. Yeah.
You know,
You go.
go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, you know, most women just don't know how to make a good cup of coffee.
Thank you.
My wife used to make it real good. Well, this is real good, too. Now, what were you going to say?
I was just thinking about the church picnic that we went to.
Yeah, that was the 4th of July.
That just seems like yesterday. To me, at least.
That was a long time ago. I might be a poor man, Maggie, but I got no business sitting around drinking coffee when there's chores to do. I'm much obliged to you.
Sorry you have to leave so soon, Jared.
So am I. That's the way it's got to be.
Thank you, Maggie. And my sweet tooth, thanks. Be back in a little while.
Where are you going, Paul?
Well, I'm just going out to Jared's on, talk some business.
What kind of business?
Well, he had a couple of mares. I could have bought them before, but I thought I'd let him stew a little while. Then I'd see if
he could let him go at a more reasonable price. What do you know your old pa's way of doing business?
Oh, Pa. You're gonna go out there and try to talk him into courting me. Now, why don't you admit it?
Maggie, you just tell me this. You want to get married?
Yes.
You like Jerry?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to go over and talk about those mares. See you later, girl. Jared, I know mourning is right and proper, but a man can overdo it. Your wife's been dead for over 2 years now. Of course, if you're bound and determined to let this place run into the ground, I don't guess nobody could stop you or would want to. Where you're going now, that's going to happen. Selling your stock, neglecting this place. Ed Sykes was saying that they were being mighty lenient down at the bank about you being behind $600 in your payments.
How about you minding your own business, Tuck Dowling?
This is my business. I suppose I was to say to you, Jared, I'm paying off that note. Now, what would you say to that?
Well, I'd say you were crazy. Or else it was some kind of a trick.
Well, I'm not crazy, and it's no trick.
What's in it for you, Tuck? You know, even before Martha died, this wasn't that good a spread. You're just wasting your money.
I'm not talking about money. But money can solve the problem.
Well, what problem?
Two lonely people who want to listen to another heartbeat beside their own. You and Maggie. The only thing stopping you from taking a wife is money. Am I right? I know that. Maggie knows that. We talked it over between us. Besides, there's nothing dishonorable about taking a loan from a father-in-law.
Does Maggie know about this?
Yeah, we talked it over. We did. We're having a small party, Jared. Give you and Maggie a chance to talk it over. Good night. Sure is a good party. Well, you just watch. It's going to get a lot better. Thank you. Thank you, folks. Now, come on, gather around. I got a very special announcement to make. Now, some of you are wondering, how come the fiddlers? How come the grub and the drinks? Well, I told my Maggie I was doing it because it seemed to me that we need a little more sociality here at the Dowling house. But that's only a part of it. Got a surprise for you. Got a surprise for Maggie. Comes to that. Jared Wilson, you come out here. Come on, Jared. Jared Wilson comes to my house the other day, and like the honorable man that he is, he comes straight out and asked me for the hand of my Maggie in holy matrimony. I hated to lose her, but I couldn't say no to Jared, so I gave my consent. Folks, you'll be glad to hear that the ceremony will be performed...
No, Paul. He hasn't even asked me yet.
Maggie, don't make your old pa look like a fool.
Make you look like... Oh, he hasn't even asked me yet.
Maggie, I went to a great deal of trouble to do this. I spent $600 to pay for his mortgage.
You come back here, Miss Maggie.
Yes, Miss Maggie. I'm proud of it.
Now, what did I do wrong? Why is she so mad?
Where are you going, little Joe?
Grab some punch. I'll be back in a minute.
Joe, you tried to sell me like I was a cow. What does he think I am? Haven't I got any feelings? I wish I were dead. I'm so lonely.
Maggie. Maggie. Maggie, you're not homely.
Joe, I am. Everyone says I am.
Who says you are?
Pa. Pa says so. All the kids I went to school with. Don't tease me, Joe. You're the only friend I have in the world.
Now, look, you listen to me. I'm not teasing you. I'm just trying to make you see the truth.
I do see it. That's the trouble. One of the girls' father would be so anxious to get rid of her that he'd pay a man to take her off his hands. Huh? Nobody wants me, Joe. I know that. I'm not blind.
Well, I think you're blind. I think you're blind. I think your father's blind. I think everybody in this town is blind. Maggie, you can be pretty, but you have to try.
Oh, Joe. Maybe tomorrow I'll wake up and I'll be pretty.
Good morning, honey. How you feeling this morning?
How do you expect me to feel, Pa?
Oh, Maggie, about last night.
Look, Pa, I don't want to talk about it.
All right, you don't want to talk about it, but I do. I've got to. Maggie, what happened last night, it's because, for a woman, there are certain things that are purely natural. And one of them is having a man attend for her and raising a family. I remember how your mama looked after she had you. She was a woman come into bloom. As lovely as anything God ever dreamed of. And that's what I want for you. Don't you see that?
Yes, I understand all that, Pa. But there's just one thing I don't quite understand.
Well, what's that, honey? Just ask me.
Well, you planning on selling me by how tall I am or by the pound? Look, Pa, I'm leaving here now. I'm going over to the Cartwrights. And I'm going to ask Mr. Cartwright if he'll recommend me for the school teaching job over at Liston Wells. And, Pa, I don't want to live here anymore.
Just don't understand that Tuck at all. Not really. Not really. He still doesn't understand what he did wrong. Can't figure out why Maggie ran out.
I'd like to tell him, Warren.
Oh, what good would that do? I tried to tell him the other day.
What you're trying to say is I ought to stay out of it, right?
Well, no, I'm not saying that.
No, but that's what you're thinking. You're probably right. Just that Maggie's such a nice person.
Of course she's a nice person. She's a wonderful person. Oh, and I suppose... Well, Tuck isn't bad. He's looking out for Maggie.
Oh, come on, Pa. He's not looking out for Maggie. He's looking out for himself. Worried about his own peace of mind, not hers.
I better get to work.
Hey, Bill, saddle up my horse, will you?
Howdy.
Hello, Mr. Cartwright. Good morning, Joe.
Well, what brings you out this way?
Well, I've been wondering, are they still looking for a school teacher over at Liston Wells?
Yeah, well, as far as I know, they are. Mag, they don't pay too well.
Well, I'd like to apply for the job, Mr. Cartwright, and it doesn't much matter what the pay is.
Oh, well, I suppose I could write a letter to Frank Pearsall for you. He sort of runs things over there.
I certainly would appreciate it.
Well, why don't I write it right now while you're here?
Oh, I'd be mighty grateful. And then I could drive over this afternoon.
Fine. I'll go in and write the letter.
Thank you very much, Mr. Cartwright.
You really want to leave, huh?
I've made up my mind, Joe. At least I'll be useful teaching school.
Yeah, and you've got yourself convinced that's what you want.
I have very little pride left, Joe. And leave me a little bit, will you?
What I'm trying to say, Maggie, is there are other men besides Jared.
But not for me.
And how do you know that?
Because I know. I can't just sit around and wait for something to happen that is never going to happen. And I don't want anything like last night to ever happen again.
Maggie, will you stop feeling sorry for yourself just once?
I am not feeling sorry for myself.
Oh, yes, you are. Look, if you want the hard rock facts, Maggie, you are not married because you don't want to be. You just want to sit around and wait for somebody to come along and say, I love you, Maggie. I want to marry you. And in the meantime, they're passing you by, not because you're homely, but because they don't see you.
What choice have I got? What else can I do?
Well, you can stop being the wilting violet, for one thing. Go out and find the man you want and let him know it. Look, we're friends, aren't we, Maggie?
You know we are, Joe.
All right, then forget Jared. He's a weakling, or he never would have gone along with your father in the first place. Forget him. He's not worth it.
Don't say that, Joe Cartwright. Jared may have his faults, but he is not a weakling. And I refuse to allow anyone, even you, to run him down in my hearing.
Well, it's going to be pretty tough to hear anything about him from Liston School. You found the man you want, Maggie. Make him see you. Go after him, Maggie. Go after him.
Morning, little Joe.
Oh, good morning, Jared.
Morning, Maggie.
Good morning, Jared.
I didn't know you were here. I come on business. I'm here to see you or your pa, little Joe. You know them horses you bought off me?
Yeah, what about him?
Well, we don't buy 'em back. If you or your pa let me.
Gee, your hair looks pretty now like that.
Well, you can't run a ranch without stock, can you?
Oh, no, I suppose you can't.
I finally decided to fix my place up and get it back to where it was. Well, maybe even better than it was.
Hey, that sounds terrific, Jared. Send it, Maggie.
Jared?
Morning, sir.
Here's your letter, Maggie.
Oh, I'm afraid I won't be needing it now, Mr. Cartwright.
Huh?
But I do apologize for putting you to so much trouble.
No trouble, Maggie. It's just, Well, aren't you
Hey,
interested?
Pa, Jared here wants to buy those horses back again.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, sir. I figure I need them more than I do the money.
Oh. Well, sure, of course. You can have them. As a matter of fact, they're in the corral. Joe hasn't even had a chance to work on them yet.
I'm figuring on building my place back up.
Hmm?
I'm figuring on building my place back up.
Oh, yeah, well, that's a good idea. Well, I'll get a couple of fellows to help you.
I'll be expecting you for supper now, Joe, at 7:30.
Oh, don't worry. I wouldn't miss it for the world. And don't forget, we have a date to go riding tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Oh, good luck with the place, Jared.
Yeah.
Pa, I'll do that.
Well, Maggie, I thought you were going...
Well, did you take everything I said seriously? Did you?
Well, you sure sounded serious.
Pa, you know something? You don't know the first thing about women. Well, now you go over there and sit down, and I'm going to clean everything up because we are having a guest for supper.
Who's coming to supper?
Little Joe Cartwright.
Oh. Oh?
Well, we riding by Jared's ranch.
Oh, are we?
You know we are.
Hey, Jared, see you at the dance tonight.
Oh, I had a wonderful time, little Joe.
Well, so did I.
Never danced so much in all my life.
But you were the best dancer on the floor. And the prettiest.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night. Hello, Paul. Paul, what's the matter? What's the matter?
Oh, it's nothing. For a minute there, you were the image of your mother, God rest her soul. You're out kind of late.
Mm-hmm. I had a wonderful time, Paul. We just danced and danced, and it was just glorious.
Glorious, huh? Has that Cartwright boy proposed to you yet?
Oh, no, Paul.
He hasn't, huh?
No.
I'm beginning to wonder about his intentions.
Joe Cartwright is a gentleman. He's a fine and decent man. He's my friend. And he's fun to be with. And I don't care what his intentions are.
Well, you may not care, young lady, but I'm your father and I care plenty.
Well, at least you don't have to buy him to make him pay attention to me.
That's exactly what bothers me. He's a rich, handsome lad. He can have any girl in the territory at the bat of an eye. What's he doing paying court to a homely thing like you? Answer me that.
homely, Paul.
Maggie.
Why do you hate me? What have I ever done to make you hate me, Paul?
I don't hate you, girl. I just want to do my duty as your father.
My father. All my life, you made me feel ashamed, Paul. You made me feel like something that should be, swept underneath the rug. Why don't you leave me alone, Paul? Why don't you let me live my own life?
You really think young Cartwright's courting you seriously?
Yes, I do.
Well, I'll be hanged. Afternoon, Cosmo.
Oh, howdy, Tuck.
Well, you're a long way from your place. I heard tell how you're starting to spruce it up again. Can't do much sprucing from the back end of a saloon.
Well, a man can't work all the time now, can he?
Yeah, that's a fact. Cosmo Bottle. Me, I'm doing a little private celebrating. You heard the news about my Maggie. What I mean is her turning you down, and little Joe comes courting. I gotta keep pinching myself. I never thought Maggie would catch herself a Cartwright. Between you, me, and the bar rail, I just can't quite figure out little Joe. Can you? It ain't as though he couldn't get something better for himself.
Now, you get one thing straight, Tuck Dowling. No man in this territory could do better than Miss Maggie. And if you weren't her pa, I'd teach you a lesson.
You're going to be at the Ponderosa Saturday? They're having a big party for Maggie. I thought sure you'd be invited.
Bob, let me know as soon as those supplies come in, will you?
I sure will.
Right. Hey, wait a minute. You got any perfume?
Just got a shipment in.
Bring me a couple of bottles, will you?
Right.
Thank you. Hey, Jared, just the man I want to see.
That a fact.
Yeah, see, I wanted to give one of these to Maggie.
What are they?
A perfume. Perfume for the party tonight. You know, it's kind of a special occasion.
Yeah, why? Why is it so special?
Well, parties are special, aren't they?
Well, if you say so.
Now, look, take a little sniff of this. This one's called Blue Lilac. Nice, huh?
Uh-huh. Yeah, nice.
Now, wait till you get a load of this one. This is the one, I think.
What's that called?
Surrender. Huh? Good, huh? Well, which one do you think?
Maggie ain't the kind of gal that wears perfume.
Oh, come on now, Jared. Any woman's the kind of woman to wear perfume. Hey, now, look, you're invited to the party tonight.
Thanks.
I think I'll go with the Surrender.
thought she'd catch herself a cart ride. Big party for Maggie. Well, I thought they'd invite you. Big party for Maggie.
Hair smells really good, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
All right, what's the matter?
Nothing. I was just wondering what time it's getting to be.
Oh. He'll be here.
Do you really think so, Joe?
I know so.
Oh, but maybe you're wrong.
But, Maggie, if you would have seen him in town today, you wouldn't say that.
Oh, maybe it was all a mistake, Joe.
Don't tell me wilting violets are in season again.
No, they're not.
Oh, Ben.
You're missing some good punch inside.
Oh, I ain't missing a thing.
And Maggie sure looks beautiful tonight, doesn't she?
Oh, she sure does. Hey, when's a good time to make the announcement? June's a good time, don't you think?
Well, I'm not quite sure what you mean, Tuck. What announcement?
The marriage. Maggie and Joe.
Well, Joe hasn't said anything to me, huh?
Well, Joe's shy.
Yeah?
Well, it don't make sense, you being the reluctant one. The father of the bride's got to pay.
You know, you are the sweetest and dearest friend that a girl ever had. And if I were to...
He's here.
What's he doing?
Well, he's just kind of sitting there staring.
Hey, look there. What's he doing here?
Well, he was invited by little Joe.
Don't young folks have any sense anymore?
I can't believe it. Now what's he doing?
He's still staring. He looks madder than a wet hen.
He does? Oh. Oh.
Maggie!
Hi, Jared.
Oh, Joey.
He just got off the wagon. Oh, here he comes.
Oh.
Just relax, just relax. Oh, Maggie, that perfume is just beautiful. That's Surrender.
Right. I've known you for a long time. But I never thought you'd stoop to anything so low.
What are you talking about?
You don't know what I'm talking about.
Oh, Jared, didn't I invite you to the party?
That's not what I mean.
Jared!
Stay out of this. You've had this coming for a long time.
Jared! Stop it. Now you stop it. Jared, you're a...
Go ahead and say it. I don't care what you call me. I'm not going to stand by and let Joe Cartwright court the woman I love.
You love.
Well, give me half a chance, I told you before. And you, if you'd kept your big nose out of it, none of this would have happened. Maggie, I never accepted any money from your pa. Oh, sure, he offered it to me, but I never took it. Maggie. Got it. Well, you gonna let me take you home or not? Now make up your mind.
Oh, I'd be proud to have you take me home, Jared Wilson.
I'm sorry, little Joe. Guess I kind of lost my temper.
Well, looks like the best man won.
Understand it. I never thought Maggie'd be the kind of woman a men would fight over.
Yeah. If you stopped talking so much, it would have happened a long time ago.
Well, I'll be hanged.
Hey, wait till I tell everyone about this development.
Joseph, let me buy you a punch.
I'll drink to that.
Talk to me, Dave. What have I done now?
Plenty, like as not. I got a passenger for you.
You got a passenger for me?
Well, not for you, really. He's addressed to your dad.
Dave, you got a passenger addressed to my Paul, right?
Come on over and look for yourself. Come on, boy. This is where you're going.
Where'd you get him?
Lady put him on in Elm City. Had that tag on him. Says Ben Cartwright on it, plain as day.
Come on, little buddy. Let's find out what this is all about.
He sure don't talk much. Ain't said a word since he got on.
Come on, little fella. Come on. Come on, let's see what this is all about anyhow. My name's Hoss. What's yours?
It ain't no use. You ain't gonna get him to speak up.
Tell me what your name is, little feller. This youngster ain't gonna speak up. He can't. This little fella can't hear it either. Come on.
Put those extra men on for 2 weeks. If we need them any longer than that, I'll take care of it.
All right, Joseph, I'll leave that to your good judgment.
Well, as long as you do that, Pa, you can never go wrong.
Well, what do we have here?
You know, I told you we needed extra hands, but isn't this one a little bit small?
Well, young man, how are you?
Paul, this little fella can't hear you. He can't talk neither.
Well, here, why don't we just sit you up here, young man, huh? Ben Cartwright, Ponderosa. Who is he?
He gave me this on the way out. Read it.
From Allie Miller. Dear Ben, I'm sending you my son, Tommy, for you to take care of him for a while. His stepfather has been in jail. He broke out a few days ago, and I'm afraid he will show up and might harm Tommy. Please take care of him. Allie's boy.
All the years, all the letters Allie's written us, she never mentioned anything about the boy, V.
Well, that would be like Allie, keeping her troubles to herself. Like her father, best ranch foreman I ever had.
Well, there's one thing for sure. He ain't gonna be a big chore for us to keep, is he?
No, sir. You're sure not going to be any big chore, are you? Hoss, why don't you take him up to Adam's room?
Yes, sir.
There we are.
There you go. Hey, yeah. That's it. You gonna be all right, little buddy.
All right, you don't have to worry about the boy horse, and I'll keep an eye on him.
Oh, I know that. And I'm worried about Tommy. I'm worried about Allie. She's in trouble. Joe, I'm gonna ride over to Elm City. If Allie's in trouble, she belongs here. Saddle my horse for me, will you?
Hello, Ellie. I reckon you know why I'm here.
Yes, Sheriff. I know.
I'll have to ask you plain out. Has Jess been here?
I told you a year ago I was divorcing him. He wouldn't risk coming here.
He's a dangerous man, Ellie. Turned out to be even more bitter than he was 2 years ago.
Nobody knows better than I do how dangerous he is.
I'm sorry about it. Now, we're going to take a look around, and we'll be back.
I understand, Sheriff.
They gone?
Yes, they're gone, Jess.
I knew you couldn't turn me in, Ellie. Now let's forget all that talk about you leaving me. You're still my wife. I waited 2 years for that. 2 years in that stinking cell. Wanting you. But everything's gonna be different now. I got a stake. The bank money, I got it hid. We're gonna go to Mexico, Ellie. We're gonna start all over, just like we always talked about.
It's too late, Jess.
Too late. It's only just beginning for us. Now, don't say you're not going with me, because you are. You're coming with me, Ellie.
I would have once. I would have gone anywhere with you when we were first married. When I loved you.
You still love me.
I don't even know you, Jess. You're an outlaw. I haven't known you for 2 years.
You still love me. You hear? You haven't gotten over me.
Jess, go away. Tommy was always afraid of you, and now I am too. It's all over, don't you understand?
Now, I know how you feel about the boy. But we got money now. We can send him away to a school of some kind.
No school would take him. I'm all he has.
You're my wife, Ellie. I want to do for you the way I promised. Don't you understand? I've finally made it big.
Was it big of you to rob a bank?
What did you want me to do? Work for pennies, be small time? I had no upbringing, no learning. What'd you expect me to do?
I expected you to be my husband and a father to my boy. I was willing to forget our dreams. Why weren't you?
Because I'm not a quitter. I'm a man.
You're a failure. You took what you refused to earn. You're no man.
You keep forgetting just how much of a man I am. You're coming with me.
There's not one thing on earth that would make me go to Mexico with you.
Nothing on earth.
That's right, Jess.
Where's the boy?
Where you won't find him.
You're wrong, Ellie. I'll find him. And when I do, I'll take him with me to Mexico.
You wouldn't.
Yeah, I would. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take him to Mexico with me. And you know what you'll do, Ellie? You come crawling on your hands and knees looking for that boy.
What kind of a monster have you turned out to be? You...
I told you, Ellie. I want you. And I'm gonna have you. So get that in your mind. See who that is and get rid of him. Don't let him in here.
Ben.
Hello, Ellie.
Ben, it's good to see you.
Oh, it's good to see you.
Did Tommy get there all right?
Well, of course he did. Don't worry about Tommy.
There wasn't time to ride or anything, Ben. I didn't know where to turn. Ben, it was good of you to come by.
He's in the house, isn't he?
No, Ben, I swear. Ben?
That was Jess, wasn't it?
I was frightened for you, Ben. He was desperate. I didn't know what he might do. There was a posse here looking for him a little while ago.
Allie, why did you stay here? Why did you come to the Ponderosa with Tommy?
Because that's the first place he would have thought of. He's heard me talk about it so many times. About when I was a little girl growing up, he knew it was just like home to me. Ben, I had to see him just one more time to see if he changed. But he's worse than ever.
Well, you're coming back to the Ponderosa with me now.
But what if he finds out? What if he comes after me?
You said there's a posse, didn't you? I'll talk to the sheriff. They'll keep him busy. Now go pack your things.
So you got treasures, have you? A pocket knife? A rabbit's foot. Hey. What is that? What have we here? This is the best treasure of all, I bet you. Your ma. I ain't seen her in a long time, but I'd recognize her anywhere. Mighty beautiful woman. Here, you jump in. I'll see you in the morning. I'll put your mom's picture right here so you can look at it. That little buddy.
Good morning, brother.
Good morning, Joe.
Did you get up before the roosters this morning?
Yeah, I want to get out and check that herd so I can get back to Tommy.
Well, he's still asleep?
Yeah. Poor little fella. I guess he's all tuckered out following me around all day.
Well, he sure has taken a liking to you, hasn't he?
No more than I have to him. I better get going so I can get back before he wakes up. See you.
Take it easy. Hey! Hey, Hoss! Hoss!
Buddy, did you think I was going to run off and leave you? No. I was just going to go out and check on the herd, and then I was going to come back and pick you up. I tell you what, you and me, both of us, will get on the horse, ride out, and check on the herd together, all right? Good. Come on, let's go get you some breakfast. Joe, see if you can round up some hot cakes. Talk to Hop Sing. Tom here's going to have some breakfast. He's going to go out and check that herd with me. Meantime, we'll get washed up.
I think I can work it out.
Well, Hop Sing will feed you unless you're washed up. I learned that a long time ago.
Tommy. Oh, Tommy. Oh. Tommy.
I reckon he's introducing us, Allie.
I told him we were all friends, but he doesn't seem to realize that I was brought up here.
It's mighty good to see you again.
Oh, I missed you so much. Yes, Tommy. Ben brought me here to be with you. We owe him our thanks.
Why, just having both of you here is thanks enough. Let's go in the house.
Right, that's two in a row. You want to play another one and give me a chance to catch up?
Tommy seems so at ease here.
Well, that's the way we'd like you to feel, Allie.
Well, I just can't stop thinking about what Jess threatened to do.
Oh. I think that was just a lot of bluff. He's either in Mexico by now or back in jail.
Maybe you're right, Ben. Maybe it's foolish of me to worry about Tommy.
Well, of course it is.
Ooh, he's anxious. Just hold on there a minute, Big Shorty. We'll be back for lunch.
I'm so grateful to you, Ben. If Dad were alive, he couldn't have been nicer.
Well,
It made Tommy very happy.
he's really come out of his shell now that you're here.
only things could have been different. You see, Tommy was less than a year old when his father was killed. We didn't suspect Tommy's condition. I was alone with Tommy. We didn't have much. Breaking horses doesn't pay much. And then when Clyde was thrown and trampled, I loved Jess when we were married, Ben. And I know that he loved me. But when we found out about Tommy, why, Jess started to change. He was always irresponsible in kind of a charming way, but it was as if Jess felt Tommy was an added burden, and he wasn't up to facing it.
I wish it could have been different for you.
I could have taken anything if there had just been a relationship between Jess and Tommy, but Jess seemed to resent the boy more and more, and Tommy felt it.
Well, I'm sure he did, but Tommy will be all right now. There's always a tomorrow. And you two will find it.
There has to be, Ben. For Tommy's sake. He's the one who has to have the tomorrow.
Oh, of course he'll have one.
Thanks for listening, Ben. I just had to talk to someone.
Well, I'm glad you talked to me.
There's no question about it, Paul. That fence had been ripped down. It looked to me like 20, 30 head of cattle through there.
Well, Ben, if there's cattle rustling going on, that kind of makes it my job.
I appreciate the help, Roy. I should better get some men up there and fix that fence.
Yes, sir.
I'll ride out with Hoss, have a look around.
You'll have a look around if you're minded, but I'm going to get me a posse together and run this thing down.
Thank you, Roy.
Let's get started.
Yeah.
It's Jess, Ben. He's found Tommy and me.
Oh, Allie, it's only a guess on your part.
No, it's more than just a guess. I know him. I know what he's capable of doing. He knows I'm here with Tommy, and he'll just keep striking and striking.
Allie, you're just getting yourself all upset over nothing.
But you don't know what he's like. He'll never give up until he gets me back.
upstairs. Ben! He's shot in the back. Upstairs, quick. I sent one of the boys into town to get the doc.
He's lost a lot of blood, then. But he's healthy as a young bull. He'll pull through. You ought to thank Jess Miller's poor aim. An inch lower, there would have been a thing I could do. Well, good night, Ben, Hoss, Mrs. Miller. I'll look in on him again tomorrow.
Thanks, Doc. Well, look, Paul, you and Allie go and get some sleep. I'll stay here with you.
No, Hoss. Let me stay. It's my fault that he's here.
Allie, I told you not to feel that way. You stay with him, Hoss.
Yes, sir.
Tommy, please try to understand. I love you so much. On the day you were born, Tommy, when you were first placed in my arms, I knew I'd been favored with a very special little boy. A handsome, sturdy, very brave little boy. And the past 7 years have proven that I was right. What a wonderful world you live in, Tommy. If only I could be a part of it. There are things that grown-ups have to do. And there are so many things that grown-ups do that a little boy like you couldn't understand. I'll come back for you, Tommy. Please understand that. Please. I wanted to give you a father. And I failed. But I can't fail our friends. Ben, Hoss, little Joe. I love you, Tommy.
Allie! I've been watching you since just before sunrise when you left the Ponderosa.
I knew you'd be out here waiting for me. You win.
Where's the boy?
I left him at the Cartwrights. He'll be safe there.
Yeah, now you're getting smart, Ellie. We're gonna have big times, you and me.
We better get out of here. That posse's getting too close for comfort.
How little Joe this morning?
Oh, just fine. He had himself a good night's rest, Hop Sing.
Oh, that is good sign. Hop Sing fixed bacon, egg, coffee, everything little Joe likes.
He'll love it. I'll get some, too.
Oh, Ben, open up, will you? It's Roy.
What?
Tommy. I found him early this morning.
What the deuce was he doing out there?
Allie! Allie! Hop Sing, where's Allie?
Hop Sing up early, not see Missy Allie.
Bring that towel. Get the medicine chest.
Yes,
sir. Peter, cut the ribbons. And find Allie.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Paul. It's a note from Allie. I'm leaving to meet Jess and try to reason with him. Maybe then he will let you and your sons alone. And then it might be safe for Tommy and me to go back home. Allie, Paul, we gotta go get her.
You got any idea where to look?
Come on, Ellie. You haven't hardly said a word in a week. We're over the border, now we're safe. Let's get a drink and celebrate. We're just the beginning for us. We're gonna have good times, you and me.
Senor, welcome to our little city. I can get something for you, senora?
You got champagne? How about champagne, Ellie? We can afford it. Everybody else in here seems to be having a good time. Why don't you let down?
Senora. You see the padre there? Whenever the padre is there, we have a lot of fun with Padre Nicolas. Please, have some fun, senora.
Bring us a bottle and 2 glasses.
When the padre first came here, we used to laugh at him. But look what he has done for us. Our fine church. He teaches the peons how to raise crops. He take care of our little children.
Forget the priest. Bring us the bottle.
Brother Nicolas is not a priest. He is what you call a lay brother. We call him padre only because we love him so. He could not be a priest. He could not say the mass. He could not hear the confessions. Brother Nicolas, he cannot hear and he cannot speak, but he can talk with his eyes and tell jokes with his hands. Está bien. Voy a traerlos.
Did you say he can't hear or speak?
Sí, señora. It is so.
Bring the bottle.
Sí, señor. Ahí voy, hombre.
Forget the boy, will you? We're here to have a good time. Now, I'm in the mood to do some celebrating.
You can understand when I speak. I know you're not a priest, but I don't know where to turn. I need your help. I am not of your faith, Brother Nicholas.
What are you doing in here?
Jess, can't I have just 1 minute of solitude?
Come on. I don't want you even seeing here.
Little boy not eat enough to keep bird alive. Maybe you try, Mr. Horse.
No use, Hobsing. I've tried everything I know.
I can cure the body, Ben, but how do you cure a little boy's broken heart? I'll be back tomorrow.
Day, Doc.
3 weeks since Allie's been gone, not a word. Guess wish there was something we can do for Tommy.
Just keep hoping.
Ben, there's someone here to see you.
Welcome, Father. What do we owe this pleasure? This is Brother Nicholas, a monk from Mexico. He's a deaf mute. You read lips? Father, won't you come and sit down, please? Hopsing, we get a cold drink for the moment.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Hey, it's from Allie. Dear Ben, everything is fine. I miss Tommy something awful. Hope he's well. Sorry to have left without saying goodbye. I hope to get better. What is it? Oh, you mean this isn't true? Is Allie in trouble? Padre, where is she? I'll go to her.
Tommy keeps pointing to Tommy. She wants to know how Tommy is.
Tommy's a very sick little boy, Padre. He misses his mother.
You want to see him?
Come with me. Buenas tardes, senor.
Buenas tardes. What can I do for you?
I'm looking for a couple of people I know.
Is it an Americano and his wife you seek?
That's right. How did you know?
It's always so. One of his kind come here, others follow. He's a bad one, senor. What do you want with him?
I was looking for his wife. She's a friend of the family. As far as he's concerned, I'd be just as happy to see him back in jail.
So would I, senor. Unfortunately for me, he has broken all laws here. And I have no authority to send him back to the United States.
You think you might know where I might find his wife?
Well, he's always near her, so you just have to wait. He goes, he comes.
Thank you very much.
De nada.
Allie?
Ben!
I did not like to do this, senora. But he would have killed you both.
Allie.
That burn stage hadn't been on time in 2 years.
Well, you relax. The stage not late. You're just anxious.
You gotta admit it's gonna be kind of nice seeing that little feller. Hey, here it comes. About time you get back.
How's your arm feel?
Fine, just fine.
Good. Make the reservations at the hotel like I asked you to?
Yeah, everything's all taken care of.
Good.
How come Brother Nicholas came back?
Well, Brother Nicholas came back to start a school here.
Hi, Tommy. How's
Tommy,
it
how
going,
you
buddy?
doing? Allie, how are you?
Hi.
Yeah, Brother Nicholas is starting a school for people like Tommy. And he and Allie are going to give children the kind of help that Tommy needs. They've sort of formed a three-way partnership. Oh, yeah. Oh. Well, let's go to the hotel.
Who's the fourth partner?
Oh, yeah, man upstairs.
About do it, Sam?
We short one sack of sugar. Won't have that till the freight wagon gets in. Sugar, sugar, sugar. Everybody wants sugar.
Well, Christmas pies, Christmas cookies. I bet Hop Sing's been baking for a week. Hey, Merry Christmas, man. How'd you like to find out in your stocking, huh?
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. You know, I get sick and tired of hearing that. Christmas is still 2 weeks away. They're going to wear it out before it gets here. Next thing you know, they're going to start celebrating Christmas on Thanksgiving. All the old spirit's gone. It's getting way too commercial. Oh, Miss Jones, you're just the one I wanted to see. I've got a lot of dandy things for Christmas.
Hey, you know, Sam, you're right. It's getting way too commercial.
Hey, here comes the stage.
The whole land is on there.
Don't worry, he'll be there. He wouldn't miss the Christmas party. What'd I tell you?
Hey,
Joe!
Hey, good to see you, buddy.
Hey, you're looking great.
You guys look good.
Hey, we sure want to thank you for coming down and taking the time to come over with this big job.
Yes, sir, it costs us a lot of money. But when Andy gives his word, he always gives it. Ah, driver, that was a very stylish ride.
Uncle Thaddeus.
I want to tell you, my boy, that I rate you more than equal to the finest drivers in Europe. Thank you very much, my good man. Now, Andy, you take the luggage up to the hotel suite.
Uncle Thaddeus, this is Joe and Hoss Cartwright.
The Cartwright boys. Well, hello there. Well, I'm glad, man, he's a big one, ain't he?
Yeah, he sure is.
You know, any friend of Andy's is a friend of mine. This is a pleasure meeting you here. Andy, now you go up to the hotel suite and get your rest, you hear? Because playing these benefits for free will sap your strength just like if you was getting money from them.
Yeah, instead of staying at the hotel, we figured you'd stay with us out at the ranch.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, but I always got to be near a telegraph office. I got some very big deals on the fire for Andy, not only in this country, but all over Europe. Well, where is the office, by the way?
Yeah, it's right around the corner here.
Oh, I told you. Thank you very much. I'll see you later, boys. See you later.
Well, you see, Uncle Thaddeus has his own way of doing things. Well, things has changed since I was here last time, fellas.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm in show business now, and, well, I've learned you have to let your manager handle things for you.
He's your manager?
Yeah, that's right.
You got a man, son of a gun. Hey, how about coming over to the saloon and sing a song for us for old time's sake? Old Mike's still on the piano, and he ain't changed a bit.
Hey, how about it? Come on.
Well, look, you guys go ahead, and I want to get this luggage up to the hotel.
Well, I'll give you a hand with it.
No, fellas, I can get it, really.
Well, all this stuff, come on, let us give you a hand with the luggage.
No, Joe, thanks a lot. Thank you. I'll see you over there, and I'll do that song for you, okay?
All right, see you at the saloon now, don't forget.
Take it easy, Andy. Things sure changed for Andy, haven't they?
Yeah, they sure have. Hey, how about a beer?
You buying?
How about getting a man?
Slept on the floor. Oh, fare thee well, old Joe Clark. Fare thee well, I'm gone. Fare thee well, old Joe Clark. I better be getting on. Old Joe Clark has a mule. His name is Morgan Brown. Every tooth that mule has got is 16 inches round. The higher up the cherry tree, the riper grows a cherry. The more you hug and kiss the girls, the sooner they will marry. Oh, fare thee well, old Joe Clark. Fare thee well, I'm gone. Fare thee well, old Joe Clark. I better be getting on. Better be getting on.
All right, that's all. Always leave 'em wanting more. That's my motto. You save your vocal cords, you hear? And I don't want you wasting your talents, because talent is a very precious commodity. Mind if I sit down?
No, please do, Mr. Case.
Well, Uncle Thaddeus, we were just having a lot of fun, you know, just like old times, huh, Joe?
Hey, I'll tell you one thing. We really missed you around here. Hey, how long do you think you can stay?
Just long enough to pay that charity benefit that you people talking us into doing. We got 1,000 things more important than this.
Well, I was hoping we could stay a few days past Christmas.
No, I think we'll be heading for Paris a couple of days after Christmas.
Paris? All the way to Texas?
Paris, France.
France? Hey, boy. Andy, that's wonderful. I'm beginning to see why you need a manager.
And he ain't the only one to see it. Here, have my card.
Thaddeus Cade. Impresario.
Oh, yes. I've been doing some big things for Andy. You know, we just finished a 2-week engagement at the famous White Parrot in San Francisco.
Yeah, where we didn't get paid.
That was just a misunderstanding. I think I explained the whole thing to you. You know, you have to hit a couple of broken rungs on the ladder to get to success. Oh, yes, I'm thinking of a big European tour for Andy. London, Paris, Rome, the works.
Uncle Thaddeus, couldn't we talk about this later? You know, Joe Hoss and myself, well, we got a lot of visiting to catch up on.
Oh, all right. Go ahead. The three of you have your visit. I'm just a thoughtless old man, but it's because I'm so proud of you. You understand? Go on, the three of you have your visit.
Well, Uncle Thaddeus, I didn't mean for you to leave.
Oh, fine. You visit with the boys. Don't worry about me. I'll be all right.
Well, he sort of gets carried away once in a while. But in this business, well, you sort of have to toot your own horn, I guess.
Sure you do.
You wait till you know him. You're gonna like him as much as I do.
Listen, he won't let you sing, but it sure can't hurt your throat to have a beer. What about it? Hey, Cosmo, 3 beers. Thanks, Hoss.
It's all right, Joe.
No sugar. How you expect Hop Sing to make cookie? Mr. Hoss, you try. Mr. Hoss, you not get. Trying, getting is a 2 different thing. 嘥氣啊，同你講，真係冇法子啊！
Joe, I don't care what you say. I'm still impressed with that feller.
Yeah, I think Hop Sing's terrific.
No, not Hop Sing. Andy's uncle. You know what I'm talking about. Who? The impresario, Andy's uncle.
Andy's mother's brother, yeah. A black sheep of the family, as I recall.
Hey, now, did you hear that? Hear that? Tell him, Pop. Black sheep of the family, right?
Well, Andy's father, when he was alive, didn't have too much use for him, as I recall. Oh, no. Oh, no, not now, of all times.
What's the matter? Something wrong?
No, well, as a matter of fact, it's something good. You remember that lumber contract we were negotiating? Well, apparently they want to close the deal.
Hey, that's great.
Sure, it's great, except they want me to come to San Francisco immediately so we can complete all the necessary paperwork.
Yeah, well, you can't leave now, not with a charity Christmas party.
I'll be back in time for the party, but I'm in charge of most of the arrangements, of a collection of all the pledges.
Paul, seeing as you're the chairman of that whole shebang, you could appoint somebody, couldn't you?
Yeah, I suppose I could.
Hey, well, how about the widow Manwaring? Well, she's done an awful lot for the orphanage.
Well, as a matter of fact, she has. If it hadn't been for her, I suppose we wouldn't be building a new orphanage, but... Oh, that woman is probably the most strong-willed woman on the face of the earth. She's already in charge of some of the arrangements. If I left, she'd probably take over complete control. Hoss? I want you to make sure she doesn't take over while I'm gone.
I gotta see. How come me?
Because I've just appointed you to be in charge of all the arrangements for the Ponderosa party while I'm away.
Paul, I can't do that.
Hoss, please don't give me any arguments. If I pack right now, I might still be able to make that stage this afternoon.
You can make
Paul,
it, Paul.
I can't do no that.
Don't you worry about a thing, Paul. You picked the right man for the job. Hey, Paul, you can handle women.
Paul!
You know, my boy, we're making a big impression in this town. Yes, sir, a big impression.
Uncle Thaddeus, I meant to speak to you about that.
Well, go ahead, my boy. Speak up. What's on your mind?
Well, this business of impressing everybody. I know in San Francisco how important you told me it was, but I grew up around here, and I know everybody.
Mm-hmm. And they're going to know you better. A lot better. That's part of my job, you know.
Well, I just wish you wouldn't try to impress Hoss and Little Joe because they're my closest friends.
Listen, will you leave the management to me? And remember, it was your idea to come down here and sing for free. Now, you just let your Uncle Thaddeus handle all these things, okay?
Yes, sir. If that's what you say, yes, sir.
Listen, Hoss. After you pick up the supplies, you'll have to go out to the Indian reservation and talk to the agent.
Paul, I never will get all this done before that Christmas party. Can Joe help me?
I told you, Joe's got plenty of work to tend to with the ranch, and I got a stage to catch. Now, get in.
Yes, sir. I never will get all this done, though.
You'll manage. Oh, listen. I got Sam Bryan down here for a $1,000 contribution. You make sure that skinflint doesn't give you $1 less.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Would you mind saying that again?
Well, I said that Paul has you down for $1,000, Sam. Look, Sam, I ain't wanting to collect the money right now. I just want the pledge. We'll collect the money out at the Christmas party at the Ponderosa.
$1,000. Has Ben Cartwright lost his reasoning? I said I'd contribute to the fund. I didn't say that I would build the orphanage on my own. Now, $500 and not 1 cent more.
750.
500.
500. Thanks a lot, Sam.
Oh, don't you remember sweet Betsy from Pike, who crossed the big mountains with her lover Ike, with 2 yoke of cattle and a large yellow dog, a tall Shanghai rooster and 1 spotted hog. They soon reached the desert where Betsy gave out, and down in the sand she lay rolling about, while Ike, half distracted, looked on with surprise, saying, Betsy, get up, you'll get sand in your eyes. A miner said, Betsy, will you dance with me? I will, that old horse, if you don't make too free, but don't dance me hard, do you want to know why? Doggone you, I'm chock full of strong alkali. Saying goodbye, Pike County, farewell for a while. We'll come back again when we've panned out our pile. This Pike County couple got married, of course, and Ike became jealous, obtained a divorce. Sweet Betsy, well satisfied, said with a shout, goodbye, you old lummox, I'm glad you backed out. Saying goodbye, Pike County, farewell for a while. We'll come back again when we've panned out our pile.
Howdy, Hoss.
Hi, Roy. Give me a beer, Cosmo.
Ain't you in town kind of late this evening? Seems like every place I went today, you was there.
Wish I'd never seen this dead-burned town.
Oh, Hoss, I hear that you're doing a fine job with the benefit arrangements.
Well, maybe you ought to get your ears cleaned out and do a little more hearing. I ain't having no luck at all collecting that $20,000, Roy.
Well, if I was you, I wouldn't be a bit discouraged. You're just tired, that's all.
Dead-burned right, I'm tired. You can bet your grandma's stockings on that. Do you ever try to collect $20,000 from this bunch of onion heads? What about that Christmas tree you was going to cut for me?
Did I promise to cut a Christmas tree?
Oh, come on, Roy, not you, too. You promised to cut me a 25-foot Christmas tree.
Oh, Hoss, you're losing your reason. A 25-foot Christmas tree. Out of the question. How about a 15?
20?
15 is the absolute limit.
15.
Well, I'll see you at the party. 15-foot tree.
Say, what's the matter there, Horse? You look awful down in the mouth. Is there anything I can do to help you?
No, I don't reckon there's anything anybody can do to help, Mr. Cade. I got $20,000 to raise before Christmas Eve, and I'm the one in charge of collecting it.
$20,000? Well, that's a sizable amount. But not doing so well, eh?
I ain't doing worth a hoot. The only thing I am doing is getting blisters on my heels.
You know, Horse, I took to you the minute I met you. And it grieves me deeply, really, to see you in this bad position. Well, it sounds to me like it's that you're in need of Professional management.
Professional management?
Well, it's just a thought, you see, but I've handled expositions, big fairs, benefits.
Mr. Cade, you mean that you'd volunteer to...
Well, yes, since raising money is one of my particular talents.
Boy, Mr. Cade, if you'd help me out here,
Well, you put it that way, I can't refuse you. I figure it's my duty to Andy's friends. Now, the 10% commission, you know, that I get for raising the, you know, that's the total amount of the funds I raise. That seems trivial, doesn't it?
10% of the total. Doggone it, Mr. Cade, I reckon I better talk to Paul about that.
But you said you were in charge. Now, listen, what this all boils down to, would you rather take 90% of something or 100% of nothing?
You know, doggone it, when you put it that way, it sort of makes sense, don't it? Mr. Cade, you just lifted $20,000 worth of burden off my shoulders.
Son, it's a pleasure to be of service.
Hoss, you didn't. Tell me you didn't.
I most certainly did. Paul's going to be mighty proud he left me in charge of this hotbed, too.
Oh, yes, he's going to be mighty proud when he has to make up that 10% you promised to pay Thaddeus Cade.
Joseph, when a man is left in authority, he has to make decisions, and he has to make them quick and snappy like that. And I've made mine, and I'll stand on it.
So did Napoleon at Waterloo.
Mr. Cade, I don't want you to be discouraged over Sam Bryant, because he's probably just one of the tightest fellows you'll ever meet in your whole life. Paul had him down for $1,000, and all I could get him to pledge was $500.
My boy, I never seen a turnip yet I couldn't get blood out of. Lead me to him.
Good. Come on.
You know, Miss Jones, I wish all my customers had as good a taste as you do. You know, you think about those carpet slippers and that throat brooch. Christmas just comes once a year, you know.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Bryant.
Good morning.
Hi, Sam. Sam, I don't think you've had the pleasure of meeting Mr. Thaddeus Cade. This is Mr. Sam Bryant, Mr. Cade. Mr. Cade here is a professional impresario, Sam, and I've just employed him to sort of manage our orphanage fund.
I thought we'd gone through that.
Mileage checking, Mr. Bryant. Mileage checking. Yeah. I talked to your chief competitor, Herb Maxwell, I believe. And he very generously contributed $1,000. Of course, he said your business wasn't quite up to his.
Oh, he did he? That customer-stealing, backbiting, so-called storekeeper, I do twice the business Herb Maxwell ever thought of doing. Put me down for $1,500.
I knew you were a giant of commerce the minute I saw you. Come to think of it, Mr. Maxwell, you know, paid in cash.
Well, how do you think I'm gonna pay? You wait right there.
Mr. Cade, did Herb Maxwell pay us in cash?
He will, my boy. He will.
I'll tell you, Mr. Cade, you've done a mighty good job up until now. I feel like I gotta warn you about this next old sister you're gonna meet. Her name is Manwaring, Widow Manwaring. She's probably one of the most headstrong women you'll ever run into in your whole life. And she ain't altogether happy with my Paul putting me in charge of this shebang. As a matter of fact, she ain't happy unless she's running the whole show herself. And she's gonna try to take your job away from you.
Important lady, is she?
Yeah, and we're gonna have to put up with her. Dad Burnett, she's sort of the social leader around here. See, her husband made one of the biggest silver strikes in the whole history of Virginia City. When he died, he left her with $5 or $6 million, I reckon. And she's pretty generous for social affairs like this orphanage fund driving on.
$6 million? Shucks, horse. She can't be all bad. She sounds like a pillar of society to me. Yeah. Come on, let's go see her.
Right.
Now, help me out, son, will you? I'm not the dashing young lieutenant that I used to be. See that here?
Yeah.
Yes? May I help you?
May you help? Mrs. Manwaring, after all you've done for this community?
Well, I've tried to do my part.
Your part? Don't you think I've heard of your fame? How much can you work? And the way you've labored here for Sweet Charity. How do you keep yourself looking as fresh as a buttercup?
Well, it is trying at times.
Of course it is. That's why I insisted that Mr. Cartwright enlist some professional help. Oh, pardon me. I forgot to introduce myself. My card.
Thaddeus Cade, impresario.
Mm-hmm. Now, I would like to offer my humble help, if I may, as I suggested to Mr. Cartwright. Especially, I've heard that your fundraising campaign has been progressing a bit slowly.
Slowly? If Hoss Cartwright knew what he was doing.
I know, but it's wrong to expect professional management from him.
You mean you would take over the management of raising the campaign fund?
Only with your approval, my dear lady.
That is a completely wonderful idea. It's just the sort of thing I would have thought of myself.
Well, I'm glad you see it that way, Miss Manwaring, but there's something else you ought to know.
Boss Cartwright, you're interrupting. That's simply wonderful. Why, Mr. Cage, you don't know what this means to me. And to the campaign, of course, professional management. It's a wonderful idea.
Thank you, my darling, for your confidence. And now, if you'll excuse me, there's work to be done. Will you excuse me? Thank you so much again.
Oh, mercy. Oh, dear.
Sorry, honey.
Oh.
I'll see you in a minute, Mr. Cade. Miss Manwaring, there's still something you need to know. You know, he don't work free.
Such a fascinating man.
Yeah, yes, he is. Ma'am, he charges a commission, 10%.
Well, Mr. Cade is a professional manager. He's entitled to a commission.
Well, doggone it, that's kind of the way I saw it, too, but my little brother was all upset
Such a
about
fascinating man.
it. Yeah, well, good day, ladies.
Fresh as a buttercup. My.
Sugar. Thank you. Thank you.
That's all right. Keep right on singing. Don't let me interrupt.
Uncle Thaddeus, I wanted to speak to you about something.
Go ahead. Feel free to speak. What is it?
Well, it's about my singing in the saloon last night, Uncle Thaddeus.
Wonderful performance. One of your very best.
Uncle Thaddeus, Mr. McBride is a friend of mine, and all the people who were there were my friends. I sang because I wanted to.
Your performance showed it.
What I mean is I didn't want to be paid for it, Uncle Thaddeus. I sang because I wanted to. You charged Mr. McBride for that performance.
Of course I did. You're a professional, so am I. And professional people don't offer their services for nothing.
And is that why you're charging Hoss Cartwright 10% commission to handle that benefit fund?
Oh, that.
Don't you realize how that makes me feel?
Andy, I don't expect you to understand everything I do. Your pa couldn't understand me either. But your ma did. And you know something? You're a lot like her. What a remarkable woman she was. She's always singing and laughing and... Well, she was a dreamer, and so am I. But I have to be practical like your pa was, too. What I'm trying to say to you, Andy, is you realize I'm the only living relative that you got left. So I figure that I kind of got to fill in for both your ma and your pa. Do you understand that?
Yes, Uncle Thaddeus. At least I try to.
Of course, I'm not everything that an uncle should be. I get a little loud from time to time, and I stretch the truth now and then, and...
Well, like I said, I'm trying to understand.
Say, that song you were humming when I came in, that was your mother's favorite, wasn't it? Sing it for me, will you? For free. No commission.
When love leaves and breaks your heart, your dreams simply fall apart. You see a world sad and blue, so unfamiliar to you. You look for lips that you once kissed, but they're lost in mist. Oh, it's funny how nothing seems quite so clear when you're looking through a tear. The face in the crowd you think is her face seemed to fade in a shade of lonely. You wait for a chance to catch another glance, but she really wasn't there. Her words linger in your ears. Goodbyes, all that you can hear.
I don't think you want to hear any more, Uncle Thaddeus.
Thank you, Andy. Thank you very much.
There's a walk I've been wanting to take. Well, Ma and Pa, it's Christmas. But it don't mean much without you being here. I've tried to live the way you taught me, and I've tried hard to understand Uncle Thaddeus. Oh, I know he means well, and he's been awful good to me. Please help me be good to him.
Hey, Joe, just got a telegram. Paul's gonna be on the noon stage.
Hey, that's good news. He sure cut it close, seeing it's a nice Christmas Eve.
Yeah. Doggone, that's gonna be some party. I can't hardly wait to see the expression on Paul's face when he finds out what a good job I've done.
I just don't understand how you could do it. I just don't understand how you could give away 10%.
But, Paul, Mr. Cade is an impresario.
I don't care if he's the man of the moon. This is not a business deal. It's charity. People are donating their time, their money.
Paul, he's done a marvelous job. He's already collected $20,000 and in cash.
Did you say in cash?
That's right.
Where's the cash?
Well, he's got it, of course.
He's got it, of course. You were supposed to collect the pledges, not the cash. The cash was supposed to be delivered here tonight at the party.
Paul, Mr. Cade knows about these things, and he explained it to me this way. He said that very often people will pledge money, but they never show up with the cash.
They never show up with the cash. Well, you just better make sure that he shows up with the cash. For all you know, he may be halfway to San Francisco right now.
Oh, Paul, he wouldn't do a thing like that. Good gracious.
Well, he'd better not do a thing like that, Hoss. Because, my friend, you are still in charge.
He wouldn't do a thing like that.
Ben, I think you're worrying about nothing now. Thaddeus Cade has been working day and night raising that money.
I just wish he hadn't collected it all in cash.
Well, if you're worried about it, why don't you just go over and ask him to turn it over to you? After all, you're the chairman.
I did ask him. He didn't bring it with him.
He didn't?
No, he didn't.
Well, go over.
People everywhere will chase their cares away. Home is where I want to be on Christmas Christmas. Home is far too many miles away. Home is where I want to be on Christmas. And home is far too many miles away.
Come in, come in. Mr. Cartwright, glad you dropped in. You know, we haven't had much of a chance to visit.
No, we haven't. I've been looking forward to having a little talk with you.
Oh, I know what you're going to say, and I want to tell you that I appreciate your concern for my welfare. But you see, this work has to be done. It just has to be done. Efficiency, that's my middle name, you know.
Well, you have been very efficient, Mr. Cade, I must say that, and I want again to congratulate you on the wonderful job that you've done. Of course, the sooner you get the money to us, the sooner we get to work in the orphanage.
That's why I figured I have to work tonight. Now, as soon as I get all this work up, I'll go into town, I'll get the money, and then I'll start reconciling the vouchers.
Sure wish you'd brought the money with you tonight.
I wouldn't pack this kind of money at night. Road agents and brigands. No, no. This money's my responsibility. I know how important it is.
Important. That's the very word, Mr. Cade. I'm glad you realize it, too, because those children downstairs, did you see their faces? The glow of excitement? Do you feel the spirit of joy in this house tonight? And all because of what you have done. Think of it, Mr. Cade. You are providing food and shelter for those children, something that some of them have never had before.
I've given an awful lot of thought to what this much money can do. Now I must get back to my paperwork because I don't want anything to slip now.
Neither do I, Mr. Cade. Neither do I.
It's time for your story. Isn't the party going splendidly? It's just as I planned it. Oh, children, why don't you get out? That's right. Let Mr. Cartwright sit there. Excuse me.
Thank you. You know, the story I'd like to read to you is about, was about a mean old man whose name was Scrooge.
You're not here by yourself. There's nothing wrong, is there?
Oh, no, Joe, nothing's wrong. I was just doing a little thinking, that's all.
Hey, why don't you come on inside? Pa's gonna start the reading.
No, you go ahead. I'd like to stay out here in the fresh air for a minute.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll see you inside then.
Oh, Uncle Thaddeus, could I talk to you for a minute?
I have to get the campaign headquarters. I have to get the accounting finished up.
Well, it'll only take a minute, Uncle.
Well, just for a moment. I have my responsibilities, you know.
And Poor Bob Cratchit had to bundle all up because Scrooge wouldn't let him buy any coal. And if anyone even so much as mentioned Christmas, Scrooge would yell, "Bah! Humbug!"
But when I saw the way you handled the benefit and the way everybody in Virginia City took to you, I realized I'd been all wrong about you, Uncle Thaddeus. Uncle Thaddeus, I don't want to be a stone around your neck. I know what family means to you and everything, but I have no right to expect you to waste your talents on me. I'm young yet, and, well, I have a lot of time ahead of me. Really, what I'm trying to say, Uncle Thaddeus, is I thought I understood you, but I guess I really didn't at all. You see, I thought it was you who needed me. Now I realize you don't need anybody.
But let's talk about that later. I have to get to work. I promised these people a full accounting within 3 days.
But that's exactly what I mean, Uncle Thaddeus. You're just like Ma. You're always thinking about other people. I know how anxious you are to see the orphanage started, but can't you just take time to stay for the rest of the party? It's Christmas Eve, Uncle Thaddeus. Just think about yourself for once.
And so, as Tiny Tim observed, God bless us, everyone. You like that? Huh? Huh? Did you enjoy that? Huh? Did you really enjoy that? Well, look over there!
Merry Christmas, Uncle Thaddeus.
Merry Christmas. Holy buttercup. I must be out of my mind. Help me down, son. Follow me. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been accused many times of making theatrical entrances, and I sincerely hope that I'm making one tonight. In this portfolio, I have $20,000 in cash. Now, I told Hoss Cartwright, I said it'll take me at least 3 days to do my accounting and straighten up all the odds and ends. But, folks, that was just a ruse. I planned all along to bring this money here tonight to give to you at this wonderful little gathering.
Now, ain't you ashamed of yourself, Ben Cartwright? Oh, come on.
Santa Claus, you've devoted your life to doing nice things for little children. Santa Claus, I'm going to give you a chance to do even more. Here's a present for you, Santa Claus. Give it to you by these wonderful people from Virginia City. And as my contribution, folks, I want you all to know I'm not taking out my commission. What am I saying here?
Oh, excuse me. Excuse me, Hoss. Excuse me. Thaddeus, you were just wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. You know, I was wondering, would you consider being my business manager?
My dear lady, how could I possibly say no? Oh, dear lady, when I look in your beautiful eyes, I see 6 million. Buttercup.
Thaddeus.
Hattie. May I call you Hattie?
Oh, please do. Dear manager.
Excuse me just a minute. Andy, could I speak to you for just a minute, please? Andy, you know, I've brought you a long ways.
Yes, sir, Uncle Thaddeus, I know you have.
But as you were saying outside, a man does have to fly on his own wings. Now, Andy, this may come as a shock to you, but all my life I've wanted a home. And I think I found one here. Now, don't think I'm running out on you because, well, I'll keep in touch.
Uncle Thaddeus, I don't want another manager.
Now, no tears, son. Remember, you're a grown man. Look! Andy, it's beginning to snow.
Hey, it's snowing.
Yeah.
We're going to have a white Christmas after all.
Cade, Thaddeus, I want to thank you for everything you've done.
Oh, it was nothing.
Oh, it was a whole lot. And I thank you for it.
Thank you.
Andy, shall we,
Well, if I don't sing something, I think I'm just gonna burst.
Oh, well, kids, gather around here, huh? Santa, you dispensed all your presents?
Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round yon virgin mother and child, holy infant so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly peace.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Merry Christmas, Deuce.
Merry Christmas, Pop.
Merry Christmas, Hoss.
Merry Christmas, Paul. Mr. Cartwright.
Merry